Teaching is a calling. And she has been blowing up my phone as long as I can remember. Now, advisors, that means that she's been calling my phone though. Right. So I never picked up. I had bigger dreams. I wanted to be an engineer and design stuff and build machines. I didn't want to be a teacher. Teachers don't make no money. And my teachers were treated so horrible sometimes. I grew up poor in an urban setting, so some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I love school and I love learning, but that doesn't mean my classmates did. Unfortunately, most times it was my friends and my teammates causing the most trouble in class. And what's funny now to me about all of this, when I think back on it, I would learn this stuff. I just always kind of had a knack. And my friends would see me killing it, roast me about it, advisors, that means make fun of, and then have the nerve to ask me to explain it to them. I know, you know, but I'm an idiot, so I did it. But what's even more interesting is I found out really early that I could make really complicated stuff really easy for them to understand. Anyway, I still didn't want to be a teacher. So I went to school. I got my bachelor's and my master's degrees in mechanical engineering from the Penn State University.
Hey!
Thank you. Even better, fully paid for. So I know, Mr. Eric, what are you doing here? I'm gonna get to it, I promise. So I graduated and I got a job in a management training program at Con Edison. Con Edison is the power company in New York City. And for the next 2 years, I proceeded to live my best life. What, baby? Oh my goodness. I know, Mr. Erdem, why are you here? So, I was in charge of a steam meter replacement program in Lower Manhattan, and the World Trade Center was one of my accounts. On September 11, 2001, I woke up late for work because the night before I was out running the city streets living my previously mentioned best life. My VP was there. My supervisor was there. My coworkers and my friends were there. They all lost their lives. And had I not overslept, I could have been there and lost mine too. Needless to say, it was time for me to leave the city. And if I wasn't ready, my mom told me she was on her way to scoop me up anyway. She needed help at home anyway. My parents were recently divorced, and my younger siblings, teenagers at the time, were not handling it the best. She wouldn't have had to ask anyway. Family always first. So I moved back home. Now, Virginia Beach at the time was not part of an enormous tech sector, so there weren't many engineering positions available. So while I'm waiting to hear back from my prospective employers, I often visited my old high school and my old teachers just to say hi, check in, ask if they needed any help, tutor some kids, you know. It always just felt natural. I mean, I knew most of the kids. They were all younger siblings of my friends, kids from the neighborhood. Green Run was a tight community. I know, here she go, calling me again. I still didn't want to be no teacher. But here go Miss Majette. Ann Majette, my old calculus teacher, who still got my picture on her AP 5 Wall of Fame, by the way. ABC2. Listen, that's right, your boy's a super nerd. Anyway, she says, why don't you just do this? Do what? Teach. Ooh, no. She goes, try it out for a week. Come talk to the principal tomorrow morning. Out of respect for her, I agreed. And I came to talk to the principal. I was wearing jeans, a hoodie, Timbs. Y'all know what Timbs are? Ooh, okay, we got some Northerners. Tim's are Timberland boots. We wear them up north. I'll teach you about that later. So I tell you that because this was a legit job interview, team, for a job that I did not want. I told her I would think about it, but then of course, the very next day, a teacher walked out of the classroom, middle of a class, on a Friday. Miss Majette didn't have to ask me twice. I started on Monday. For 15 years, I taught all of the maths and built a championship basketball program at the school I graduated from and had an amazing experience doing so. But I still didn't know if I wanted to be a teacher. Obviously, my kids loved me. I loved them. And we both learned so much, but honestly, I didn't feel like I belonged in the profession. I still wanted to be an engineer. Maybe it's not too late. Virginia Beach was getting a little bit crowded, and my small but growing family was looking for a change. So was I. Now, I love the beach. I love the beach. So, who got the best beaches in the country? Florida, of course. And team, NASA is in Florida. Team, my dream was to work for NASA. And at the time, they had opened up applications for the astronaut training program, and that doesn't happen very often. Even better than that, they were accepting teaching experience as relevant, and that never happens. So the Erbs are moving south to beautiful St. Augustine, Florida, and never look back. Now, remember I have a family. I can't just wait for NASA, so I also put in applications at high schools in the area. I mean, come on, there's always a math job open somewhere. And sure enough, Dr. Clay Carmichael calls me and we hit it off. Now, I was very direct with Dr. C. Dr. C, I have an open application in over at NASA. And Dr. C, if they call, I'm gonna take the job. Dr. C says, well, you better. We love Dr. C. NASA never called. And now that I think about it, did NASA try to call and teaching blocked her? Like for real, so not only will you not stop calling, you gonna stop other people from calling me too? Persistent, ain't she? Okay then, let's do this teaching thing. Team, 3 years later, I was named District Teacher of the Year and given a Cadillac. Your boy never won it. I don't know. Maybe I was a better teacher now. Or maybe I just finally answered the call. Team, there are gonna be days when you feel like you answered a spam call. Teaching highs are way, way up there. Way up there. Teaching lows, well, you get it. On days like this, some people are gonna tell you to remember your why. It's good advice. It really, really is. I'm gonna give you a little bit more. Find your people. They're out there. Find them and start looking day one. Be patient. It might take some time, but trust me, it's time well spent. Your people might not be in your building. So go to district stuff and county stuff and sign up for every conference and teacher get together that you might even be remotely interested in, because if they're not in your building, they're out there. You will affect, impact, and improve the lives of millions. And that's literally not an exaggeration. I can do the math for you, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave that to you. But let's think out loud together for a second. If you impact the lives of your students, and you will have thousands of students, and they go out and they impact their friends and their families, and then they go, and then they go, team, those numbers grow super fast. In math, we call it exponentially. You are literally going to change the world. I began this by telling you that teaching is a calling. And if I could do anything different, I would have picked up the phone long before I did. So thank you. Thank you for not leaving teaching on red. Advisors, I'll explain that later. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for answering the call.
I think you gotta end the rest of the show, bro, because I can't.
You all right? Listen, I'm just up here to pick up.
I think you got one more. We got one more gift card to give out.